at you with another episode of Tampa Bay Real Producers. This is the podcast made for real producers, by real producers, and with none other than real producers, such as Courtney Poe.
What's up, guys?
Is
Hello.
in the house.
How we doing?
Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun.
It's
Courtney
gonna be weird.
is one of my favorite agents to tease, to have fun with. You know, she
yeah,
has
you
a
always call
nickname.
me Chris Farley's sister. I love that for me.
Chris Farley's sister.
I love that. Brought to you by Celsius, guys. If you haven't had a whole one of these today, just go ahead and hop right on. I'm going to put this down.
And you don't have to eat the mic. It's okay. You can back
I
up
don't
a little
know.
bit.
I've never been on a podcast before.
Well, we're going to have
you
a great time.
You said two fists. This looks nasty. Just kidding.
All right, Courtney is here, and if you don't know Courtney, she's someone you need to get to know. All right,
cool.
she has an amazing personality, and is just a blast to hang out with. I'm grateful that we've had you at many of events now.
We always have a great time.
We always have a great time. You're always the life of the party, and it's fun to have you around, no doubt about it. So why don't we start a little bit with your background for people who don't know you?
Okay.
Did you grow up in this area? If not, what brought you to Tampa?
I'm from the South, but I've been in Tampa for almost 10 years now. Next year will be 10 years, but I feel like I've lived here forever at this point. I can't imagine living anywhere else. So I'm like, oh, where would I live? And I'm like, Florida, or maybe
Where's the
internationally.
South? Where'd you grow up?
I was born in Texas, lived in Oklahoma, lived in Arkansas, lived in Nashville, Tennessee. So I've kind of bopped around a lot.
Military family?
No, just a gypsy woman over here. God, I don't know. I just had a lot of experience and was lucky enough to.
Your parents just like moving
move around. Well, I moved a lot as like a young adult after I spread my little wings and flew away. Yeah, I bopped around for a bit, and it was pretty cool because I got a really nice view of the world in the South.
Sure.
I've never been north of the Mason-Dixon line living wise, but pretty well traveled too. So
sounds like it. Yeah. So when did you leave home? At 18? You started traveling?
17. So 17? No, I left at 17, but yeah, and then I moved back to Texas and I just kind of bopped around. But moved here from Arkansas, and so people don't judge me. Arkansas actually is beautiful. It is a natural state, and then plus Walmart's there. Which everyone here hates Walmart because Walmart in Florida is terrible. But when you go to Arkansas, it's like the Publix of grocery stores. They do like product samplings, and like the shopping carts don't have weave stuck in the wheel. It's like the greatest thing ever.
It's a whole new world.
It is. It's like a Publix. Yeah.
Amazing. I did not know that. I'll have to check out. So until you've gone to a Walmart in Arkansas, you haven't really
experienced. Those are the demo stores, so they push you through. And so any sample that they're trying out, they're like, here, check this out. Everything's free. You know, push you through the store.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a weird
that
thing.
I did not know.
Yeah,
see, you learned something new. See,
that
you've been here for 5 minutes and you're already dropping knowledge bombs.
Yep.
So, Courtney, you eventually made your way to Tampa. What age did you get here?
Ooh,
or when? You said 10 years ago? Okay.
24, little baby girl.
Look at you.
Yeah, I'm 34
Were you
now.
in real estate at all before getting to Tampa?
No, I wasn't, but my mom's a realtor. So she's been a realtor, God, I can't even remember, maybe like 20 years. So I remember her just always like out and about, and she's real chatty, Southern lady.
Texas?
She is actually in Wesley Chapel now. So that's kind of what prompted my move here.
Okay.
So I came to visit, you know, that's how everybody says. Like, I came for a visit, and then I came back and never left. So that's kind of Florida in a nutshell, right?
That's cool. Yeah, I hear that story a lot. Absolutely.
I know. That's how it happens.
So how long did it take for you once you got here to start getting into real estate?
Pretty much immediately. So I kind of started in the new construction realm. So I was selling new homes. I was really blessed to be able to have a new construction background and, you know, really see how things are processed on that side, because as a realtor, you don't see what the salespeople over there are doing. And then you don't really get a good grasp on new construction unless you've been in it. So I was really lucky to have that experience. So I sold custom homes for a few years, and then that's when I switched over to general real estate.
Which company was that with?
Oh, well, I can't tell you all my secrets. Yes. I would like to refrain from saying anything.
Spoken like a real Southern belle.
No, just kidding. Like a true Southern belle. Yeah. So yeah, just a small custom builder that is now no longer in business. So I would just, you know, whatever. They built a beautiful home. They just weren't good at, you know.
Making me choke over here.
Yeah, you're right.
So what did you learn in that space that you think helped you and has continued to help you today?
Just the process of construction, which is a great thing to know. I mean, that's why I think I sell so much new construction now, because I feel really comfortable and confident in it, and I just really enjoy new construction. Less problems. You don't have to worry about insurance. All those great things.
That makes sense. Is that still a big part of your business today?
Oh yeah, yeah. I sell a lot of new construction. I love to do pre-construction sales, so I can kind of hold your little hand and walk you through, and then watch you pick out all your design options. And half the time, people get to design their own floor plan. So it's really cool. It's definitely a lot more work because you're with somebody for almost 2 years. Like, it's like a 1.5-year process from start to finish, almost 2 years now. But yeah, you could just kind of become family with these people, and then you steal all their design ideas anyways. So
did you get licensed 10 years ago? Was it that first year?
Let me think about that. Yeah, maybe 2014.
Okay. And that wasn't with Frank Albert, or was it?
No, it wasn't. So I've been with Frank. Oh my gosh, it's hard to earmark time here because we don't have seasons. So I'm always like, when was that? And I don't have children. So children, like, you earmark with seasons and children. And so it's like, Was that 3 years ago? Was that 5 years ago?
What TV show was I watching
Yeah,
then?
I don't know. Was I still watching Game of Thrones? Was that still happening? I don't know. Were the dragons a thing yet?
You could base it on the Game of Thrones seasons. There you go. How many do they have? 8 now? 9?
Right?
Yes.
So I think I've been with Frank for maybe like 4 years, maybe 5.
Okay, so you were with a different brokerage
He sharked
first.
me. Yeah, so I was with KW for a little bit. Love the manager over there. You know, they took me through a bold class, and I was like, I'll never do this again. Shh, don't tell anyone. But yeah, so I went over with Frank, and like I've really blossomed since going over with Frank. He's super smart guy. He's one of my mentors.
Yeah.
I've really seen my business grow. And
we haven't had Frank in on the podcast, but
Frank's the best.
We'll definitely have to.
Oh yeah, Frank's the man. I love Frank.
Absolutely.
Frank
is an entrepreneur too.
He
owns Sublime Staging, which is one of our partners with Real Producers, and won the Broker of the Year this year.
Frank is the broker of the century. All right. If anybody wants to come over to Frank Albert Realty, let us know.
And
you have to have a minimum volume.
Courtney is also won an award this year at the Agent Choice Awards in March. You won the Rising Star Award in our female category, and definitely well deserved. And we're nominated by your peers, and ended up walking away with some hardware that night.
Yeah, that was really fun. I had a great time. I have no idea what I said on stage when I accepted that award. I was just kind of like panic.
We have it on camera.
Oh God, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch this either. God, I'm the worst.
Yeah, we'll just be floating out in the atmosphere.
Floating it out there.
It'll be around 10,
used
20
against
years
me
from now.
20 years from now. Courtney, remember the time you said that weird thing? And I'm like, what time was that?
Yeah, which one?
Which one? Yeah. Back to my Chris Farley.
So you ended up, would you say that first year or two, right, when you got licensed and just trying to learn things, figure out the business? I know you mentioned that you had a little bit of a background with the new construction, so I'm assuming that helped a little bit. But looking back on it now, would you say got off to a fast start? Did it take you a while to get some traction?
I think it took me a little bit longer. I mean, I always thought my volume was good at the time, and I'm like, my first year, I think I did like $3.5 million in volume or something. And I was like, oh, so proud. And now I look back and I'm like, there's people right now that are doing like 12, 15 mil in their first year. And they're killing it, right? Yeah. I'm so proud of some of these agents. We've got a new girl that just came over to our brokerage. Her first year, she did $12 million. I'm like, awesome. Girl, you go.
We got to feature her as a rising star.
I know, right? Yeah. She's killing it. I'm so proud of her. It's a certain mentality. And I think some people, they just get it a little bit faster than others. I don't know. Maybe it's just
from your perspective, what do you think's the difference between the agent who does that type of results year one versus someone else who struggles?
Well, I do think that some of it has to do with, having connections. So when I first moved here, I didn't know a soul. Well, I knew like my mom, my dad. I knew my parents. Yeah. So that's it. I knew nobody. So if like you talked to me 10 years ago, I came here, I'm like, I have no friends. A lot of people that, lived here for a long time have a lot of connections, or people that went to high school here. Yeah. I'm like, well, if you went to Jesuit as a boy, you run Tampa. Right. You're like the good old boys squad. I'm like, God, if I had a son, you're going to Jesuit, boy. But it's true. So I think just having connections. And then also I think sometimes you have a lot of young agents and they're just kind of still trying to figure out their life in general. So I think that sometimes when you're a little bit older and you jump in and you're committed, I think that's the agents that really just rock it and they launch and they do really well their first year because they're just hustlers. A lot of people come from hospitality backgrounds, sales backgrounds, and they already kind of get it. The newer agents that haven't really had a lot of work experience, I think, are the ones that just take a little bit longer to blossom. But, there's always an exception to that.
What do you think worked for you? Do you remember like a breakout year or maybe it was even a strategy that you think really got you?
So I am
acclimated to the business.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a pretty hard worker. So, and like I have stress. If I'm not working, if I'm not producing, then I'm stressed about it. I don't know. I wasn't like well off as a kid.
You're driven by the productivity, huh?
Well, I just was like, I will never be poor again. That's like was my motivation as a kid because we weren't well to do. So it was just, things sometimes were a struggle. Motivation. Yeah. So you just don't want to be on that other side. So that's great motivation. I don't know if there was a pivotal moment where I was like, wow, this is what's really working for me. But I really just think it's work ethic, treating people how you want to be treated, and just taking care of people. And if you take really good care of people, they will refer you left and right. So 90% of my business is referral based.
Nice.
So, I have buyer's agents, so I send them, incoming leads. But for the most part, I'm only working on referrals.
And we'll talk about that because you're building a team right now, right?
I am building a team. Okay. I have some killer buyer's agents.
We'll dive into that.
Yeah, my girls are killing it.
How long were you a solo agent before you started building a team?
Well, that would go back to... How long ago was that? But
so you just started within the last year, right? Of building?
Well, I think I've had Debbie for 2.5 years.
Okay.
And so she's just been launching, and she's amazing. And I just feel like she's almost just becoming like a little extension of me, and I just love her so much.
Oh boy,
so
God help us.
No, she's actually like the nice one, like blah, blah, right? She's the sweet one.
I don't think have I met her.
You probably have, but she's not as loud.
Okay. Has she come to an event?
She has. Yeah, she's been to a few events. So
Okay, cool.
yeah, she's great. You'll love her. Everybody loves Debbie. So I know I can trust her, and she takes really good care of people. So it's really nice to see her blossom into her own little agent. And she's killing it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm so proud of her.
So where's the vision taking you now? Like you have this team that you're trying to build.
Yeah, I mean,
what's that going to look like in the next 12 months? What are you going after?
12 months. So I've kind of got a lot of personal goals right now. So obviously growth is always top of mind. Just trying to build the team, trying to get some good systems into place. We already have systems, of course, but just always trying to implement new technology, new software. We're all going crazy over ChatGPT still. I'm like, I'm not up writing listing descriptions all night. I'm just, thank you. But now
made that work for you, huh?
Right? Oh, it's the best.
We actually have a panel on that coming up this year, so we'll have to.
My God.
If you're crushing it, I might have to have you on that panel.
Oh my God, yeah, I think I'm crushing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Go read my listing descriptions. Sometimes they're really cheesy, so I'm like, make it less cheesy, ChatGPT. And then it's like, what do you
Courtney.
mean?
It's gonna be weird when they start like talking back at you, like with your name and everything. It's like,
how are we gonna control this AI, right? I was reading
Exactly.
an article the other day that was like, AI is gonna be outsmarting us. How are we gonna control something that's smarter than us? And I'm like, dun dun dun.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
I
where
don't
we're
know.
heading.
Elon, what are we gonna do? So
Hopefully he has an answer. We'll
right?
see.
Hopefully, I'm sure he does. That guy's wild.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
So do you have a goal for this next 12 months? Anything you're building towards?
I've got some specific goals. Yeah, obviously I'm trying to add a couple new agents. So, right now I've got a girl squad. So we were like, we think we should add a boy to our squad. Mostly just like open houses sometimes. You just want to make sure you're safety conscious.
The boss babe squad?
I don't know, like whatever. Boss babes are boss babes. Adding a boy won't change that. I've got a lot of girl teams out there that have added a few guys, and we're just like, hey, come to this sketchy open house with me so I don't get murdered. So yeah, if anybody out there is looking to maybe make a switch, let me know.
Yeah, we'll definitely give you an opportunity to shout out all your contact
fun people
info.
only. Fun. Just getting fun and productive.
Well, what is important to you in terms of if you consider team members? Like, what are some of the qualities? What are things that you look for? What's your process in terms of who you'd want? Who do you want to attract?
Consistency. People that are super customer service driven. I do find, like I said, hospitality people typically have a high tolerance for shenanigans. Just like, they are the best. They if you can convert them and get them working like regular scheduled hours and get them really good with their follow-up, those are some of the best people that you can recruit. So, that's where salespeople are born, is in hospitality.
Okay. I didn't know that. That's a good training ground.
It really is. I mean, they just have a high tolerance. So just anybody that's consistent, people that want to make money. We want people that are driven. So I can't get you out of bed every morning. You've got to be a self-starter.
Yeah.
And if, advancing your career is important to you and you want to join a team where there aren't any limits and you want to see growth. I mean, that's kind of what we're looking for always.
What's team culture look like with you guys? Do you have a meeting once a week? Do you guys meet every day?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I talk more than my family. I mean, I talk to my buyer's agents every day. So, I mean, they call me with questions. I call them, hey, who wants this lead? Who's going to do this open house? So they're kind of, like I said, almost like a little extension of me.
What's the name of your team again?
We just kind of circle around. Poe Homes.
The Poe Homes.
PoeHomes.com. Check us out.
There we go. Checking out the Poe Homes.
Poe Homes. Right? Homes. I have a buddy that does a lot of Photoshop stuff, so there's been a lot of like circulation.
Your name was like made for real estate, I guess.
I guess, right? Who knew? I don't know. It's a little gimmicky.
Quite branding.
Yeah. But
our topic this month actually at our panel is about branding, the power of branding. So, I mean, Poe Homes, you can't beat that.
Homes, right? I got to shoot you over some of the Photoshops my buddy's done. They're just ridiculous.
I'm sure.
I can't post them, but they're ridiculous.
So do you believe, Courtney, that you found like your niche when it comes to real estate now? Is it something that you're completely like, you love it, you're passionate about it? What do you love most about it?
I don't know. It's just like my obsession. That's all I would talk about. People, it's funny because I'm like, I'm going to go talk to people and not talk about real estate, but I can't even help it. It's just constantly, and people always want to talk about real estate. I just enjoy it. It really is just one of my favorite things. I don't know. It's
you think that it's
past
like
a hobby at this point.
Are you like a real estate nerd where you love the tactical parts of it, or do you just love the people?
Both.
Like just connecting with the people?
I love it all. And I love
shebang.
problem solving too. So it's like real estate's always a different problem. And I'm like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. Did you go to college?
I did, but I didn't finish. So,
what was your major? Did you have a major?
I did. I started in with like a business admin and then, just didn't finish because I started working in sales and I was killing it. So I was selling life insurance of all things.
Were you?
Yeah. At 21, I'm selling death. 2021. And I had no idea even what I was selling really, but my boss just used to use me as bait. He would just cast me out. my crowd was all old people, and they just loved me, and I don't know, I got everybody in the door.
You. How can they not?
I don't know, but I was killing it, but I didn't even know I was killing it. So
that's awesome. So your sales experience was through life insurance first.
Yeah, it was. So
and then was that the bridge to real estate?
I think so, yeah. So I had a little bit of hospitality in between there, but yeah, that was kind of the bridge. I mean, when you start as a young kid, 20 years old, you're like, wow, I just got a check for like $10,000. I'm rich, right? When you're 20.
Time to go to the bar.
I'm rich.
What would you, looking back, were there any specific challenges that you felt like you had to learn a lot from during those earlier years of getting your real estate career going? What were some things that were, maybe hard for you to, maybe it was specific moments or just situations that came up where you felt it was just immaturity that you had to grow?
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't know if I really felt that I hit some wild challenge. I think the biggest thing, I do feel like I missed out a little bit like on my youth because I was just always working. And so when you switch over, especially in a sales job, that's one of the biggest challenges is just you're always working. And if you're not always working, like somebody else will be. Yeah. So now I've been working. That's one of my goals for like the last year is kind of develop that work-life balance. Okay. But in the beginning, it's like you hit the ground running. Like somebody calls, I'm like, do you have a pre-approval or I'm getting murdered? One of these two. I'm going to sell you a house though. Buy or die, baby.
Yeah, buy or die.
Buy or die. Terrible.
You mentioned earlier that you felt like this last year was a great one of your best years for personal growth. Yeah. Did I quote that right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm still focusing like, 95% on real estate. Everything is real estate related, but I have been I'm becoming the rezone queen. So I've been rezoning a lot of land in the city of Tampa, which my first one that I did, I had no idea that you had to go up and speak to the city council. I just went in blind and I was like, oh God, I didn't know I have to give basically a speech in a minute. So thankfully I was a little further down on the docket because I got up there, I'm like sweating, I'm nervous. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I say? I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I ended up killing it. Nice. Got my lot split. And then I've just been kind of doing that. We need a video of that,
I think.
Oh God, it's probably out there. Oh. God, me being awkward.
So every time you want to rezone, you got to sell somebody on it, I guess? Right?
Yeah, you have to sell the city council on it. And my first parcel came up as, God, I can't even think right now. My brain just blanked. But it was like inconsistent with the city's findings. So basically I had to argue why it was consistent. Mind you, I didn't know I had to argue this until I was on site.
Nice. And
of course, like, neighbors were showing up to the previous docket cases. So I was like, oh my God, I hope nobody shows up to argue with me. Because what do I do? I want to freak out.
So what's the most common thing? Is it like trying to take commercial zoning to residential?
So most of the residential stuff, like commercial to resi, I don't do that. But I did like rezone. So specifically, if you've got a lot that's zoned, say RS60, that demands that you have 60 feet of frontage. I had a lot that was 100 feet wide, and I was trying to switch it to an RS50 to split it into 2 lots. And typically, the neighbors don't like that because they don't want more houses. But I'm like, but the city of Tampa wants density because we don't have enough land and we don't have enough housing. Yep. So, it's kind of like a conflict there, but nobody showed up. My neighbor's so nice. Thankfully, that lot was in my current neighborhood, so I was
like where you live,
like where I currently live. Yeah, gotcha. I'm becoming the land baroness of my neighborhood right now. That's like my new thing. But yeah, so that's part of my personal development. I've been acquiring a lot of land, a lot of new properties. Just closed on my first
clients. You're saying of yours, or also personal investments?
So personal investments, but then I do joint ventures with typically builders. So back to the new construction where I'm just kind of, just doing the learning process of learning how to rezone land, joint venture it, work with builders to offer new construction products. Just something that I just really enjoy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's kind of fun.
Is it a different type of client, have you found, in that space?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Is there something that you do to attract those clients specifically, or?
I think you attract what you enjoy. So whatever you're doing or who you are around is kind of what you're attracting, right? Don't they say like you're the average of the 5 people you hang around?
They do.
Yeah,
they
so
do
it's true.
That.
I'm a little sponge.
Which means
I absorb
I'm going
things.
to be like the average of my 5 kids. Is that?
Yes, 5 kids.
I am kind of
6 coming soon. Just kidding.
Right? Don't be laying that on me, Courtney.
Where are we going to draw the line? How many kids?
Don't be laying that on me, Courtney.
Kids? 10 kids? How many kids?
I don't know what the line might be. Right? I'm just here to repopulate the earth.
Yeah, you're going to need a farm. You're going to need a farm.
Well, now I know somebody who can help me rezone.
There you go. I got you.
So that works. That works very well, actually.
Right. All right. Let me know.
All right. So where do we go from here? I'm trying to figure out. So I love to kind of talk to about some of the personal questions to see, like, for people who don't know you yet, who want to learn more, especially if there's even agents who might want to work with you. I'm sure your personality is already starting to come through, and that's always a good thing.
I'm a weird one.
But what do you guys what do you personally love to do for fun when you're not working? What makes you tick?
Oh, I don't know. I love music, so I do find myself trying to go to shows. So I just saw like Muse, The Killers, and the Lumineers at Shaky Knees in Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
I really do enjoy music, so that's definitely a hobby of mine. I also am a bit of a foodie, and Frank also, he's a foodie, so we like to go out and try all the new restaurants and sample a little bit of everything. It's a small hole in the wall, and I don't think I want to tell you guys because then I won't be able to get in. Yeah, there's 7 tables in this place, so there's 19 seats in this entire little hole in the wall Italian spot. I'll tell you about it off mic. But it's BYOB, so you can bring your own wine. If you want to know, give me a call, guys. Pohomes.com.
Cool. There's a spot that I like that's kind of a hole in the wall too, a little bit more bigger than 7 tables, but it's and I don't care talking about it. It's called La Casa Pasta.
La Casa Pasta.
And it's up in, off of Ehrlich. It's like hidden in this like little plaza area, but it's the owners are straight from off the boat from Italy.
Oh yeah, speaking Italian.
They shake everybody's hand when they walk in, and they oh
that's nice. My guy's really mean. He's almost like the soup Nazi, so like you never know. Like he shushed me once, but his food's so good that I was like, I'll come back. We go there often.
I love those authentic places.
Yeah, right? Like
you can't beat that. You live in Seminole Heights?
Right? I'm in Ridgewood Park, so it's over by Armature Works.
Gotcha.
Really nice. Love it over there. I just literally hop on a scooter and like you see me like whipping around. Haven't crashed yet.
There. Well, yet. We'll see.
Right?
Maybe
God,
we'll have
I'm getting a little old for this.
No serious injuries yet, I take it. Do you have a so do you have a favorite like place to travel or any sort of vacations that you love to take?
Oh, I do love to travel. I've kind of been to a lot of spots. So I've done an extensive tour of Southeast Asia. I've done a lot of Europe. I love to travel. I'll go anywhere. I mean, I've even been to Egypt, which is kind of a weird place.
Interesting.
It is, and it's actually I really enjoyed. Honestly, the poor countries. I went to Cambodia. Like you get a $7 1-hour massage, and like I love to get massages in other countries because the funniest stories that I've ever had come from these massages. Like going to Turkey, going into a hammam, getting like scrubbed down pink like a little baby with like this really scratchy loofah. It's really weird.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it. But yeah, I really do enjoy traveling. Goals: trying to get to Japan during cherry blossom season. Obviously, COVID put some snags in some things. It was kind of hard to get in and out of countries. But yeah, I don't know.
So are you traveling with like friends of yours? Is it all just yourself?
Travel. Yeah, no, I don't solo travel.
No solo travel.
No, I think the part of travel.
Some people love that though.
Some people do. But as a woman, you always want to feel safe. And I think that part of the best thing of traveling is enjoying it with somebody else, and like just the stories, just the funny stories from traveling. It's really the inconveniences of traveling that end up being the funniest things to laugh about.
How often do you get to travel with your career and business?
I always try to take like a 2-week trip every year. Okay. It is kind of hard sometimes because we are set, during the summer. This has kind of been a weird year, I think, overall. The market's kind of been all over the place, but typically I try to take a big trip in September. And then our brokerage travels heavily too. So
oh, really? As a team?
As a team. So if you qualify, then you're going on a trip. And I don't know if we're going to Italy or Greece this year, but that's typically like far trip. Frank's really good about that. So that's awesome. One of the really cool things. We've got a really cool culture at our brokerage. And,
how many agents are part of the team? Do you know?
We just brought on a few new agents. I think we've got like a little over 20, maybe 25.
Are you the only team within that brokerage?
No, so Frank's got a minimum volume. So if you're not hitting that volume, then you have to join a team. So we've got a few teams, actually probably like 5 teams within the brokerage.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really great. It's really fun.
But I do believe you're the top agent there, I'm told.
I am agent.
That's what I've heard.
I don't know. I don't want to brag.
You can brag.
I don't know.
It's all good.
I'm like, he gives me a trophy.
We didn't throw it out there before,
I'm like, I love
do you remember
trophy.
What your best year was from a number standpoint?
Well, I do a lot of off-market stuff too, but it's usually around like 20 mil, and then I've got some off-market, and then like my personal land development stuff. So I don't know, just like my volume that's on MLS, like 20 mil.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I think it was like usually between 30 to 40 transactions a year, somewhere in that ballpark?
That's a good question. I probably did, maybe like 40 transactions last year.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Solo. And then my team, I don't make them put their stuff under my name because I want them to
they do show up separately.
Yeah, I want them to be able to build their own volume. I don't know. That was important to me whenever I was younger, just to be able to or a less experienced agent, I guess, to be able to build my volume. Yeah. So some teams, they force you to put it all under one person.
They do.
But
in the MLS, it's
hard. I mean, it's hard good because it boosts the numbers, but at the same time, I don't know. I wouldn't want to do that personally. So
whatever we see on the MLS, that's just you personally.
Yeah, that's just my solo stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Would you say that you are enjoying the process of team building even more than just being an individual solo agent?
Well, I think building a team when you've been in real estate for a long time, there's little things that you don't even think about because it's just like you've done it so many times. So that is one thing when you bring on a newer agent that has questions about things, you're like, wow, I haven't thought about that in a really long time. It's almost second nature. I could do this in my sleep.
Yeah.
just random little stuff. So it's really nice because it kind of does get you back to the basics. So, you know, it never hurts to go back and revisit things that, you know, you see what's going on now. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Is there anything you feel like you've learned from that process of starting the team and having to bring people on board?
Definitely. I have learned that I have an insane work ethic, and some people don't have that, and they really do I'm not good at balancing my work life. That's one of the things I'm working on. But some people really value their time more than working. They'd rather have more free time, and
yeah.
I just don't think that this is one of those lines of work.
That's
in my
tough
mind.
in this business.
It really is tough in this business. So I'm not the best person to say, oh, work-life balance, but it's.
Yeah, because you just never know when the client needs you, and you just being accessible, I guess, is important.
In this
right?
market, if you don't go and see it, we still have things that are moving really quickly, and so especially the last, during COVID, if you didn't see it within the hour, that thing was gone. All
right.
cash, quick close, no inspections, it was gone.
Right.
So to do a good service for your clients, you have to be available, or find somebody that can get them into the property quickly. I do a lot of FaceTime tours, just being available, because you don't want somebody to feel like they missed out on their potential dream home because you weren't available.
Yeah.
So, we bend over backwards to make sure our clients are taken care of, and they refer us to everybody. So it's.
Yeah. And that is, I think that's a tricky thing for a lot of agents and a lot of people, and not into just business period.
Mm-hmm.
You said earlier that you feel like you've made some adjustments to work-life balance, or you're still working in that process?
Well, one of the great things about starting to build a team is you have people that can help you too. So I know that, one of my agents is going to be in Carrollwood this time of day. And I'm like, hey, would you mind popping by and opening this house up and showing this to somebody? And they're happy to do it. And I'm happy to do it for them too. So I think logistically, sometimes it's really great. Or, hey, I took a weekend trip. Is there any way you can cover for me? So that's one of the best things about having a team, actually. But yeah, work-life balance is something that's been ongoing. I've been trying to get that for a few years now, and I'm finally starting to just realize that on a Sunday I just need a little time off. So I now take Sundays off for the most part.
What do you do on Sundays? Just sleep
mostly
in?
just relax. Just lounge.
Do you have a pool? Do you have a pool at the house?
I don't. Not in my current house. Okay. No. So all my friends have pools though, so I just pop over.
There you go.
Next house goals. We're working on that. I've got work in progress. Got some plans that are.
So you're investing now too. I think you're just say as well, right? Are you building new construction properties for flips, or
what I typically do is I joint venture them with builders. So I'm not helping with the build. I'm just handing them the land over to the builder per se, and then the buyers work out the financing on the front end. But I'm actually working on my personal home right now, so that's pretty exciting.
You're building a personal home?
Yeah, well, my plans are almost done. It's been a long time in the making. I keep seeing new ideas and keep changing.
Is this the dream home?
It's the dream home, but there's no home that's going to keep me for more than 5 years, maybe. That's one of the worst things.
For now.
For now, right?
Yes, as that evolves.
I'm always bouncing around, like, ooh, look at that. That's the shiny penny.
Where's that going to be?
That's in my same neighborhood. I told you I'm becoming the land baroness of my neighborhood.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, so it was one of the lots.
So
that
is this part of the lots? Okay, gotcha.
One of them, yeah. So I've split a few in the neighborhood. So I'm just trying to buy where I live because
I would have thought for your dream home you would have combined some lots and be like, I'm going to build myself an estate, a palace,
but it doesn't.
A Poe Homes palace,
the Potel. I call it the Potel.
The Potel, yes.
Welcome to my Potel.
I love it.
No, it doesn't make sense because the land value is so high. So the realtor and me can't allow that. As much as I would love a huge lot, I'm like, maybe
can't be that selfish, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll just move out to the middle of nowhere and have 15 dogs or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you have any dogs now?
I do. I've got one giant golden retriever.
So
he's a real good boy.
He's your buddy, huh? He keeps you busy.
He is. He's a very needy boy.
For those of you who don't know, Courtney, you're single, correct?
Oh no, I have a husband.
Courtney has a husband?
I have a husband. You've met him.
When?
At the producers, the Real Producers Award.
I don't remember meeting your husband.
He's shy. He's shy.
What's his name?
Jared.
Jared. Is he in real estate?
No, he's not.
He's not in real estate.
He's more on stare at a couple screens all day.
He's a computer guy.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Weird. No,
How long have you guys been married?
Since 2019.
Okay. So I would imagine he travels with you a good amount when
he does. He loves to travel. He's a great traveler, so he likes to go. He actually has been to probably more countries than he has states, which is wild to me because I've been to probably 45 states. He's been almost everywhere. Every time I'm trying to book a flight somewhere, he's like, "Oh, I've already been there. I don't want to go there again." And I'm like, "God, you've been everywhere though."
So he's the quiet guy, and you're you.
Yes.
I can't imagine that dynamic, huh? That must be that's a blast.
Right? It's interesting.
And you guys don't want kids?
Oh, come on. Tough topic. You're having enough of them
no,
for
we
all
get
of
raw
us.
here. You know how
Listen,
this works, Courtney. We don't hold back.
God, guys, cut.
No cutting. We talk rawness here, my friend.
Cut. Anyways, I'm cutting this.
So you don't want to dive into that, I hear.
Yeah, I'm cutting this
That's
segment.
all right. I
Come
can
on,
respect
Dawn.
that. I can respect that.
Are you my mother? Are you my mother, Dawn?
Until I get pushback, then I can know how personal we can get.
Okay,
so
fine.
that's
well,
the
I'm
point.
really an open book for the most part, but
just not about that.
Cut, yeah.
It's all good.
God, you sound like my mom right now, Dawn.
So your parents are asking regularly.
God, you kill me. Anyways, we're moving on. Back to my dog. He's a real cute boy.
I'm here for you, Mom. I'm here for you. I'm trying to help out a little bit over here.
Get out
what
of
can I say?
Listen, she can just borrow one of your 5.
She can.
Right?
Yeah. We need
I
all
saw
the
a
help.
picture of you guys on a flight.
We need all the help we can get.
Oh my God, you guys on that flight stressed me out.
Mom, if you're like feeding for some grandkids.
No, my brother has 4. My brother has 4.
We can use more grandmas.
There are
it's all good.
We always need more grandmas.
We always need more grandmas.
Please
in our life.
watch one of these 5 kids. Please come help me.
Yeah,
right?
the more help we have, the better.
Hallelujah.
Courtney's against it, but it sounds like you're looking for some moms. So let's bring it on.
Next question. Next question. I'm leaving.
All right. I'm leaving. Couple rapid fire things.
Boom.
Let me check the time. All right.
How we doing?
Couple rapid fire personal things for people to get to know you more.
Okay.
I think I gave you a heads up on one of these already, but do you have a favorite book, author, or seminar that you think has made an impact on you?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Everybody's reading, The Shift, even though that's been out. Gary Keller's book has been out for a while. It's a pretty good one. It kind of just talks about how the market's shifting and how you have to adapt. So I think the market has shifted. Obviously, interest rates are pushing to 7 almost. So I mean, we are shifting. So people aren't. I have a listing that sits for more than 48 hours now. I'm like, oh my God, is it going to sell? And I'm like, it's going to sell. It's not 15 offers in the first day. So just shifting our businesses to adapt to market conditions. We couldn't always be in that peak. That was a crazy burner that we had for a while. 2.5% interest rates. That's free money.
How many agents did that market attract though, who then realized, you know what, it's not always going to be like this. So now they're out of the business.
Well, honestly, I'm like, my buyer's agents were writing offers, just boom, boom. Debbie was just like, I got to write another offer. I'm like, well, you get to write another offer, so that's a good thing. But it was a challenge. So if you were a finance buyer in that market, then you couldn't get anything under contract. So now buyers have a little bit more flexibility. They can actually get something under contract with, maybe some seller concessions. So it's kind of nice. But yeah, just adapting to the shift has been interesting. And I hear people complaining, but also it's like, okay, up your marketing. What are you doing to change to attract buyers in this market? People still need a place to live,
How has your business evolved this year because of the market conditions?
Last night I was just looking at my numbers compared to last year and then the previous year. And my volume is still up from those 2 years, which, I hit my goals.
You're still crushing it, kiddo.
I'm still trying it. We're always saying killing it. That's like my tagline these days. I'm like, killing it.
Poe Homes.
Poe Homes. My price point is going up, so that's what I'm trying to do is just start selling higher price point.
Okay.
Just instead of running circles around selling a lower price point, I've got the buyer's agents kind of taking over that for me so I can focus on higher price point sales to keep my volume at the same level.
That's cool.
But overall, I think people are just marketing on social media, and I'm getting a lot of referrals from, repeat clients, past clients, so I'm really grateful for these people. At the end of the day, people still need a place to live, and rent is so expensive here.
Yeah.
We're looking at a 1-bedroom apartment. It's like $2,200 to get in like the smallest 1-bedroom apartment in Tampa. I'm like, when did we become Miami?
Yep,
I remember
crazy.
a 2-2 downtown. I was like, oh my God, they want $1,600 for this? And I'm like, now that would be a steal. Can't get anything. So
I was just looking at rental options because I have an interest in like short-term rental business, and I might want to consider doing some Airbnb and some arbitrage strategies. And when you look at some of these rental amounts,
it's wild.
It's a little crazy, a little inflated.
It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody turns their rental into an Airbnb now. So
yeah, I'm
over here like, I just want to rent to nurses. I'll furnish and nurses. But
so it sounds like whether it's just through muscling it, but you found a way to not let this market really negatively impact your business.
Yeah. And we're just like being consistent. So, we're working a little bit harder for the same results. That's fine. The market can't always be 10 out of 10. So it's an ebb and flow, right? Up and down. And so
this
adapting.
book you mentioned, The Shift, is describing the market, basically.
Yeah. It's cyclical. Things are, you're always shifting. It could be a great market. It could be a seller's market, buyer's market. We're still in really low inventory. Yeah. I still think that there's not enough inventory. We're at 2 months of inventory for last month. So in a healthy market, you've got 6 months of inventory. So it's still technically a seller's market. It's just buyers are getting a little bit, a little more finicky because they're paying double what they would have been, this time last year.
Right. Do you feel like when markets shift, as they do, that's natural in any business, and real estate's no different, do you feel like it's important as an agent to shift your strategies accordingly to be able to make sure that you know, can stay consistent?
Yeah, I think so. So we've been just trying to hit marketing a little bit harder than previous, because before, I mean, we took a listing, you didn't have to put a sign in the yard. That thing was sold, but you just whispered that you had a listing. People were flapping over to you. 15 offers off market. I'm like, okay. So now, yeah, we're just, you know, broadcasting. We're doing more marketing.
Social media marketing?
Yeah, a lot of social media. That's where we found a lot of our buyers are coming from. People are browsing online. Think about it. If you need a service, where are you starting? Online, you're Googling or you're scrolling and you're just looking at hashtags of things. So yeah, we've had a lot of success there, you know, just promoting certain listings, target marketing. So it's pretty successful.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Back to some of the personal rapid fire stuff. Favorite food? You have any?
Oh, I don't know. I love Asian
you're a foodie.
food. I am a foodie.
Asian?
I love Asian foodie, but if I had to pick like one country for all my produce to come from, it would be Mexico, because they have the best, right? I don't know.
Mexican food fan, huh?
Right? Oh, yeah, but there's no good Mexican in Tampa.
It's got to be something.
No, there's really not.
Really?
There's not. So you got to float over. You got to go to
Just had
St.
Stephanie
Pete's
Rose on too, and she was talking about how she's a huge Mexican food fan. So
well, I'm from Texas, so Tex-Mex is really
so
what I
spoiled.
want. I am spoiled rotten, and
Yeah,
so
that's
anytime
what
I
it
go
is.
to Texas, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna eat Mexican food all the time. And I have to admit, this is like a guilty admission. Chewy's in Wesley Chapel probably has the best Mexican food, which is the saddest thing, because we have a huge Spanish population here, but they make those fresh flour tortillas.
Think over in the Ybor area, that's like
it's all Cuban food. I don't know. Somebody please DM me. Where is the best Mexican food? I'm over at St. Pete, like Mercado. I love Mercado.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Chewy's has those thin chips and spicy salsa, and they make those flour tortillas in-house, and like that for Tex-Mex is corn tortillas,
Delicioso,
trash. Huh? Yeah, muy delicioso.
Muy delicioso.
Muy bien. Yeah, so
I have
DM me,
a
guys.
son who's 6
Pohomes.com.
years old
Send it
who
over.
I think might be part Mexican, because he just loves tacos, and he's the big
because
Mexican
tacos
fan.
are delicious. If you don't like tacos, what are you? But only on flour tortillas, corn tortillas.
Right.
No, noted.
We already talked a little about some of your favorite vacations.
Yeah.
You said Southeast Asia. I thought was a cool one.
Cambodia. I loved Cambodia, and it's a really strange, very poor country.
So if you had to pick one spot that you would recommend people to check out, it'd be Cambodia or something else?
No, that's not for like the faint of heart. I mean, I've been to some places where I'm like, wow, most people could not go here, right? Or like bougie
Because of
travelers.
what?
Well, I mean, you're guaranteed you're gonna get a stomach bug. It is like, okay, so for Cambodia
Don't be drinking the water.
Well, you don't drink the water, but you're gonna get sick. Listen, or Egypt, same thing. I mean, if you haven't traveled abroad, start small. Go to Italy. Italy's amazing. Go there.
Amazing, yeah.
Start there.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Western Europe.
That's probably one of my favorite trips. But I guess I'm a
it's
bougie
amazing.
traveler.
I mean, they're trying to feed you. The wine's cheaper than the water. Yeah, Italy's great. Greece was beautiful. Very, very expensive. But for some reason, I just really enjoy the poor countries and just like the travel experiences. And back to those nuances. When you're suffering, when you're traveling, like, those are the greatest memories later. Just like some of the stories that we have.
What are you, a masochist? Are you into the
No,
suffering
I'm
thing?
not. But it's just like the funniest, most like, I don't know. I enjoy. But so... I can't tell you some of these stories just because they're embarrassing, but yeah, there's some.
You can be embarrassed. It's
no,
all right.
Listen,
you don't have to hold back.
Come on, Don. Tell me an embarrassing story, and I'll tell you one.
I have plenty. I have plenty of embarrassing stories. Do you want to hear one?
Yeah, go for it.
When I was 12 years old, I went skiing for the first time.
Okay.
Right. And I was this is literally the only time I've ever gone skiing in my life.
Oh, okay.
And I was going up a mountain in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And you know
East
those
Coast
tow
skiing.
ropes
Yeah.
that you take? So I'm grab a tow rope, and I'm just learning the whole thing. And I'm about 3/4 of the way up the mountain, and my skis start like crossing. Right? So
it's French fries. Don.
Yeah,
It's
I'm like,
French
this
fries.
isn't good. I'm losing my balance. So I fall, and I just lose control, and I start like falling down the hill. Trying to grab this tow rope, and I'm wiping people out.
Oh,
on the
you're
way
one
down.
of those. You know,
Yeah.
you know if
Total,
this was
like,
now,
total
somebody would
rookie
have had
move.
a video of this.
So I wish it was. Now that I look back, I was horrified. So I get to the bottom of the hill, and I remember like you know, getting up and seeing like bodies like sprawled out.
Oh
like,
God, you were the bowling ball.
yeah, that
boom,
was
boom,
me.
boom, 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 boom,
and I was
oh my
just
God.
utterly embarrassed. So I quit. I went and was like, I think I'm just gonna drink hot cocoa now for the next couple
And that
hours.
was the last time you went
Finally,
skiing.
I did get brave enough to go do some buddy hopping, and I finally got back up on the hill. But yeah, that was a pretty
You were the
embarrassing
bowling
moment.
ball. You know, I've gotten a warning on
Yeah.
a ski lift
Your
before
turn.
for flying out of control. I almost hit 5 people and then almost hit a pole, and they gave me a warning. They're like, if you do this one more time, then you're out of here. And I'm like, I can't stop.
So I'm not much of a winter sports guy.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe
winter
that
sports are
moment
great.
kind of ingrained something in me.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
were
but
terrified? Yeah,
I
get
played
that.
baseball most of my life, so I'm all about summer sports.
Who's your favorite baseball team?
The Yankees. I grew up
Go
up
Mets,
there.
go Mets. We got to be Pete Alonso. Pete, the home run king. We love that guy. We watch a lot of baseball.
Are you a Mets fan?
I am a Mets fan by proxy. Jared's a huge Mets fan. So therefore, 162 games of regular season baseball makes me a Mets fan.
There you go.
So yeah, mostly just a Pete Alonso fan because he's a local guy too.
I actually like Pete. He's
Pete's
a good dude.
awesome and he does a lot of cool stuff. Polar Pete.
He's not as cool as Aaron Judge, but he's a good dude.
Well, yeah, whatever. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, who would pick the Yankees?
I have so many Mets fans
over the
from
Mets.
I grew up 45 minutes from New York City.
Oh, okay. So you have like some nice friends that are Mets fans, like some reasonable humans.
I got a good amount of reasonable humans.
And then the
that are Mets
bandwagon
fans.
Yankees fans. I get it.
Of course,
All right,
yes.
we'll
You know how it is.
We'll
you haven't told me your embarrassing story.
Oh man, I was trying to get around that. Okay, but I don't know if it's appropriate. So just like when you're in Cambodia, like back to these massages.
Cut if we really have to if you're going to insult everybody.
I mean, I would like to cut like 5 things out of this already. So like cut. Who's doing? Is Ryan here doing the editing on this video?
Eventually.
Oh, thank God for Ryan.
Yes,
thank
eventually.
God. Okay, so I was in Cambodia, and like I said, I always get a massage in another country because I find that's the best way to have an awkward experience. And I really thrive on awkward experiences.
Does it matter to you if it's a man or a woman massaging you?
No, I don't really care. But in Cambodia, they're all like these little tiny little baby girls. And I was questioning how old they are. But anyway, so I walk into this massage place. We're getting a couples massage. So we go in and it's $7 for a full body 1 hour massage. But most of the time they only do Thai massages there. But we were like, oh, we'll get an American massage. And so they're like, okay, take your clothes off. And we're like, okay, we'll get naked. So we go up to this table and we pull like this hand towel. Like, you know, in America, when you get a massage, they tuck you in and these nice linens.
Right.
Well, I picked this like washcloth up. They're like, start face up. And so I'm like, got this little baby washcloth where I'm like, where do I do with this? Oh my God. Like, okay, I'm barely covered. So I'm trying to like lay like this, so this washcloth is covering me from top to bottom, and then I just decide that covering the bottom is the most important. So anyways, we get into this massage. I think this girl's like 15. She's beating the crap out of me. Like, you've never had a massage.
Getting deep.
She's doing like wrestling moves, like coming down with like a can opener or
Hulk
something.
Hogan leg drops.
Yeah, right. Some good wrestling moves. I didn't get Rick Ravish though. But anyway, so she flips us over, and then next thing I know, so you don't have your head in a face cradle, so you're not like down. Your head's turned to the side. So I'm looking at Jared. He's looking at me, and the next thing you know, these girls just like jump up on top of us. We're completely naked at this point. They're just like beating the shit out of us.
Nice.
And you know, I feel like I should stop here. Like, this is enough story.
Keep going. It's all right.
I think
we're
it's
just
good.
Getting warmed up.
I think it's good. So like we have these like young tiny people just like
elbowing you,
literally dropping wrestling moves on us. I'm not even kidding. And next thing you know,
are you allowed to fight back or no?
No master of karate.
Nothing.
They have us in like a chokehold. These are the strongest little people. They're probably like 80 pounds, but it feels like a 500-pound truck driver is on top of me. Just
with
anyways,
sound effects.
Yeah, in my mind.
Gotcha.
Everything has sound effects in my mind. So yeah, I'm gonna stop this story.
That's the end of it, huh?
That's kind of
Eventually
the end of
they
it.
Just stop beating the crap out of you.
Kind of, you know. But then they like slip off of us, and Jared and I are like, "What the hell do we do now?" And so then we're thinking, like, are we gonna get happy endings? Okay, I'm gonna stop this story. Just go ahead and cut this story. Anyway, so Jared and I for like 20 minutes laid there in fear while we're getting beaten up, thinking we're getting happy endings. And we didn't get happy endings at the end. But there was like,
what kind of a massage did you order?
Well, like when you're in Cambodia, I think other people were getting happy endings, but we didn't know. We're just there to get a legit massage.
Right.
So there was just like some weird conversation that we had with these people that don't really speak English. So there's people that are like trying to help us, and we're like, no happy endings, no happy endings. Anyways, it got really awkward, and I can't keep continuing because it gets a little vulgar. But yeah, so that was the time that we got $7 massages.
Yes
and no
or
happy
was
endings.
Was there a happy ending?
No happy ending. Okay. No happy ending, Don. Anyways, I'm going to move on. Cut this. Cut. Ryan, cut.
All right. Well, I don't know how embarrassing that was, but okay, I got you. I got you. It's at least a story that you got a little bit of it out of you.
We're going to cut this anyway, so it doesn't matter.
You got a little bit out of you there, so it's all good. All right, so we'll put a bow here in a second on the rest of this that story.
A little bow on the Poe.
All right, we'll move on. Bow on the Poe, indeed. One of the things that I always ask about. This is a little bit of a deeper question, I guess.
Oh gosh, I'm not very deep.
As we're going to get deep here.
All right.
I think it's always interesting for people to think about their legacies.
Okay.
And what they would want to be known for.
Is this like if I die or retire?
Yeah, die, retire.
Dear Courtney, what would you like to put on your headstone?
On either one.
Courtney, she lived, she laughed, she loved. That's what you're asking me? This is the deep question? Oh my God.
Well, you might have just answered it.
This is dark,
But my question is when you do retire or done with business, what do you think would be the most, doesn't have to be business, by the way, or it could be personal. It could be death if you really want to go that route.
I mean, it sounds like you're asking me, like I said, what I want to put on my tombstone.
What would you want your legacy to be? What do you think? You're such a young, vibrant, energetic woman. And it's important for us to live a life that actually has purpose behind it, right? So when you think about your legacy, what would you want that to be years from now?
Don, I am much younger than you, and I have not thought about my death and my legacy just yet.
I'm forcing you
like
there.
I said, on my tombstone, she lived, she laughed, she loved, okay? I don't know. I don't really have a deep answer for that. My legacy, I don't know. I think everybody just wants to be remembered as being kind. Like, at the end of the day, does anything really matter? Nobody was on their deathbed like, wow, she really killed it in real estate. You know, I think it's like the memories and the moments that you have with the people that you're closest to. So I don't know if I necessarily per se need a legacy. I just, to be remembered fondly, of course, until, you know, those people die and nobody remembers you, since we're on the dark path over here,
she's
Don.
not going to have any kids, so I don't know who's going to be remembering her.
Stop. I know. I'm like, why do I work so hard? I don't have anybody to leave it to. You want to loan me one of your kids?
Hey, we can always have that conversation.
Right? Who wants to take care of me in my old age? Right? I'll will everything to you. God, that's
anyone want to sign up for that? It's all good.
That's a terrible question, Don. Thank you for that.
Terrible. Well, that's my job.
I don't know.
We do our best.
Leaving a legacy, I think that's almost like selfish in a way, for people to think that they're so important that they need to be remembered. You know? Interesting. I don't know.
Yeah,
is that a weird answer?
I think it's fascinating. Yeah.
What do people usually answer this?
Oh, I've heard all kinds of things.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to go back and look for the final closing questions.
Usually towards the end of the final questions is about, you know, but it's
the
funny.
final questions is in your death.
I have noticed. I interview a lot of people that are very successful in real estate, right? And are real producers, quote unquote. But generally, even though I think from an outside perspective, it's easy for someone who doesn't know what it takes to be great in the real estate world to think that you're just driven solely by money, you know, motivation, greed. You just want to be
I don't think it's a
productivity. But I think from the outside perspective, someone who looks at a top producer thinks that that's what they're driven by, right? A lot of people do anyway. And the common answers that I get are not anything to do with that, you know, at all. So the people, when I think you really get a chance to hear their real story, it's typically they're driven by a certain purpose. Maybe it's even, one of the things I didn't ask you yet was like, are there any particular causes or organizations that you love, that you're passionate about?
Okay, so my soft spots, in no particular order: old people, orphans, dogs, animals. So I do a little bit with Instruments for Life. So they're an awesome organization that they teach underprivileged children how to play instruments, which I think is so cool. So they put them through an 8-week course.
On that, I think.
Yeah, it's such a great little organization, cool. Charity.
I love that article,
they're all local musicians too. So Ashley Smith and the Random Occurrence actually do it. They're awesome. They teach kids how to play instruments, and at the end, if they make it through their 8-week course, they give them a free instrument. And these are kids that aren't in schools, that are, you know, still have, you know, programs that are being funded, or they just can't afford to have an instrument. So I love the arts. I love music.
Yeah, Instruments for Life, it's called,
Instruments for Life. And then I actually kind of just started doing some stuff with the Children's Home Network. And that's honestly, it's so sad. It like breaks my heart. But we're actually doing a really cool event on July 27th. If anybody wants to sponsor, we need some sponsors.
Shout it out.
Yeah, shout it out. But the Children's Home Network, they have kids that have, you know, some of them are orphans. They're kids that have had their parental rights terminated. Some have just been temporarily taken away from their families, but they keep them on site. And I don't know, we had an opportunity to tour their buildings, and it's just so heartbreaking. They kind of have it set up like dorms, and the facilities are really nice. But when you go in and you see these like sweet little angel babies that are like 6 years old, and they have, you know, like 2 shirts and then 1 pair of shorts and 1 pair of shoes. And like, that's what they really need over there. So they have a little shop set up on site that every month they get to go in and pick out a clothing item, but they just don't have enough shoes, especially for the older kids, because they say once they get out of kid sizes, like women's sizes 7 and up, or men's sizes 8 and up, they don't have enough shoes for these kids. So I'm like, we need to do a shoe drive. Like, it's so sad. And they have right now like 60 kids there, and it's just, I don't know.
Is that local?
It's local, yeah.
Okay.
I can't tell you where it is. They kind of keep it off market. Obviously, you can Google it, but it's nice. It's a complete compound. You have to have permission to go inside, and it's really sad. So we're going to do a field day for them on July 27th. So just kind of like do a little fun summer run, maybe like a Christmas in July. So we really want to start trying to get some shoes. We'd love to get some toys. We'd love like a lunch sponsor or something, maybe to reach out to Publix, but kind of got those balls rolling. But yeah, those are the little things.
I forgot that we did a feature on the Instruments for Life group.
Yeah, it's
I
really
love
cool.
that article. It was really, really cool.
Really great groups. There's some really great charities in Tampa that are all local based, and it's just, you know, every little bit helps. So it's really nice.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing some of that, because I think, like we were getting back to before, a lot of times when we asked even the legacy question, it tends to lead towards doing things for a bigger purpose.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And your day-to-day actions, which, you know, money only goes so far as far as those motivations.
Well, the good thing about, you know, my daily actions that do create revenue is it creates opportunities to give, you know? So it's like, if you can't do, give.
Yep.
You know, just little things you can do. Honestly, just being,
I think you just found a legacy.
Right? If you can't do, give. There you go, tagline. Yeah. I don't know. You do what you can. You know what I mean? Just like little things. Wherever you can make a small impact. It's amazing.
Well, this has been fun and a wild ride, Courtney.
Oh, man, a little roller coaster.
We've hopped all over the place. Is there anything else you want to throw out there for the good of the order?
No, I think we've encompassed everything.
We've done a lot.
We've done a lot.
We've gone all over.
Yep.
And I'm sure this won't be the last time. We'll have Courtney on again at some point.
You guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. If you've made it this far, I'm really sorry in advance.
If someone wants to connect with you, maybe they're an agent who just loves your personality and would love to connect with you and maybe talk about team, how should they find you?
Poehomes.com, P-O-E, homes.com, or you can reach out to me. Obviously, we all have phone numbers on the internet, so just reach out. If you want to try to go on far trips with us, let me know. That's our new favorite thing. I'm like, we're going to Greece.
I love it.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Don, thank you so much for having me today.
It's my pleasure.
Sorry for the hour of rambling.
This was fun. This was fun. That's what it's all about. So we always end every episode with a challenge. And that is a challenge for the audience to do something from this episode, hopefully, that you can grab out of the wild, chaotic ride that we just took. But can you find one thing that you think you can put to work and implement so that the time you invested in watching this episode, you can make sure it's making a difference and moving you forward, right? So this is about taking an action step. Maybe it's as simple as, you know, some of the cool places that Courtney threw out there to visit. Be careful of the massage parlors in some of these places. But maybe you got to find a country that you want to go to that you love that Courtney mentioned. Or maybe you have to reach out to Courtney about joining her team because, you know, you're looking for a new brokerage.
Yeah. Just keep at it, guys.
Maybe, you know, maybe you're trying to figure out a marketing strategy and you heard Courtney drop a couple of nuggets there as well. So whatever it is, can you take an action step from this episode that will help you in your business? Or maybe it's read the book that Courtney mentioned as well on your personal side. So stay classy. Go ahead and have a great rest of your week, and we will see you on the next episode.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Have a good day.